tuning in. I am here to bring you some new stuff that you may not yet be aware of, or perhaps slightly you already are. But either way, I'll tell you where it comes from. I'm on a few of these different PR lists. They get sent out to record labels, bloggers, YouTubers like me, whatever. And their purpose is to promote bands looking to blow up. Whether that happens or not is up to you, of course, but in small part, it's up to people like me to present the option. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you about some of these bands and their recent output, some of which is unreleased, some's already out there in the form of a new single, ahead of a full release, anything like that. And I won't just use generic terms either. Oh, they're black and death metal, they're brutal. I'll actually do my best to give references and descriptions that ain't just a bunch of the typical literary wankery you might expect from the average journalist dork. I'll speak your language. So enough of my bullshit, here we go, man. Let's kick things off by taking a trip down to Santiago, Chile to check out the latest from thrash metal killers, Nuclear. Dude, the latest track, Violent DNA, off their upcoming EP out October 25th on Black Lodge, rips, man. It absolutely rips, slams, pummels, shreds. This is how thrash metal's done. You take everything you loved about Blood Era Slayer, classic and current Creator, Death Angel, Duke's Era Exodus, and you got a pissed off, fun, violent song that's just awesome, man. There ain't no fucking around with experimentation or attempts to break a mold. It's just a sacred formula that's tried and true to move and keep you fiending for more. The singer kind of reminds me slightly of Marco Oro from Haunted, Rob from Exodus, just overall very angry sounding, but not only angry, he is delivering rage here, man. Just look at this guy. And all of that is precisely what you get from Nuclear in Violent DNA. Personally, I absolutely love it, man. It's hookish, it's heavy, fast, all of that. So whether you need something to soothe your anger or kick you in the ass to get the party started, Nuclear's it, man. Violent DNA, fucking A. Next, descend down into that dirty underground where everybody smells like shit and goes nuts in a pit. Oakland, California's masked grindcore lunatics, Haggus. You like DAHMER? You like MACABRE? The obvious AGATHACLES? Well, now add that kind of out-of-this-world vocal effect that sounds like something you only hear in nightmares or when you're coming out of a coma. And you got 2 new EPs released simultaneously from the band's new home, Tank Crimes, and it's like this. The first, 3 cadavers, 2 corpses, and a carcass, is spiritually crushed the way a band like Toxic Narcotic was. Disrupt, capitalist casualties, that type of thing. But living in 2024 when better production's more available, there you go. The second EP, No End in Suffering, is described by the band as differing from Cadavers in that it's got different tempos here and there, sort of different riffs than their usual fare, which, yeah, I pick up on that slightly. But either way, both of these EPs are some quality-ass bitchin' grindcore where everybody's having a good time. Fucking A. Next up, we're staying in California and even the Bay Area, because we gotta say hello to a bunch of young disciples of that thrash sound the region's known so well for. Hatchet. Let me just tell you, man, these dudes are doing a brilliant job of honoring the forefathers, because on their upcoming EP, not only do they cover Annihilator and W.A.S.P too, okay, so not technically Bay Area, W.A.S.P, but you got a ripping treble assault and wild-ass drums with a singer that brings Paul BALOFF to mind. Death Angel Mark a little too, and on top of songs that speed just as much as they crush. Now, when I say the following word, which I'll admit I honestly hate, I do not mean it in the way you'd connect to bands with a particular subgenre, which by that I mean In Flames, that kind of stuff. But there's an element of melodic, simply because these songs make use of single strings to create that melody as opposed to just straight power chords all the time, which would be a characteristic of somebody like, say, Demolition Hammer. But ultimately what's going on here is genuine modern day Bay Area thrash filled with passion, power, and fire. This band is made to be played loud, man, and on the road and on festival stages, heavy metal clubs, whatever. Hatchet, beautiful work, gentlemen. Next, get those lederhosen out, because it is Oktoberfest in Germany, and man, is this year black with the upcoming release Songs Against Humanity, October 25th, from blackened death metal doctors, The Spirit. Though the feeling feelings the spirit may bring about are of a tumultuous, deep thinking sort of state. It is pretty damn rockin' at times, the way you'd hear SATYRICON do it when they're in that kind of mood. Carpathian Forest, even arguably Usurper maybe, but mostly takes stormy, violent sounding black metal that's very well varied in terms of different parts and sections as opposed to something more constant like Transylvanian Hunger, Darkthrone. And there you go. Now, vocally, you like the sound of Tom from Sodom's voice? It's pretty similar here. It's that kind of buzzsaw tone that ain't got nothing to do with the gut, because it's all throat and gravel and broken glass like Impaled or Exhumed. You know what? Here's a band where it's probably pretty safe to use the word melodic. But again, it ain't Gothenburg, it's Germany, the way somebody like Negator or Dark Fortress do it. But yeah, dude, if you like second wave stuff that's sophisticated but still rocks a little and has terrific production, you should love the spirit just as much. Songs Against Humanity, 6 days before All Hallows Eve on 10/25. Fucking A. Alright, finally, back to the States and down to the southeast in Arizona. Headbangers, please give a hotter than hell welcome to a death metal band of young newcomers with their debut full-length Cryptic Lust. Previously out earlier this year domestically, but today in North America via Carbonized Records, simply called Eternal. And man, is this album awesome! Spiritually, yes, I'm using that word a second time in this video. Spiritually, now a third. Eternal is old school death metal, the same way newer bands like Morbid Visions and Gatecreeper are, which means you're gonna get occasional groovier moments like Obituary and Entombed. You'll also find Morbid Angel influence, though I'd say that's limited to just the sound of David Vincent's voice. Actually, maybe the song Spectral Immolation could make you think of sections on Covenant and Domination. And since I'm a reverb junkie, I'll also say that their production's got really cool sound because everything's EQ'd perfectly and it just makes for a very pleasing sound. You're never fighting to hear the crash or the snare or something because those bastards just cut right through wonderfully. I got a feeling this band, especially with Cryptic Lust in mind, would get a great deal of respect from pioneers like Malevolent Creation and Incantation and stuff. No doubt. If you're one of those 90s curmudgeons that feels puke coming up every time you hear even a remote trace of something tech or deathcore or slam showing up, I got a suspicion, even though you probably wouldn't admit it because you're a badass, there indeed would be a warmth in your heart for Eternal, and mine's surely an all-out flame, man, I'll tell you that much. But alright, my friends, there you fucking go. Maybe some of this stuff's new to you, what the hell do I know? In the meantime, though, I am out of here, man. So if you did like this video, cool, maybe you can give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then pound the ever-living shit out of that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew. But until then, stay absolutely crazy, my friends.